Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Turnbuckles and stogies. Yo, what is up? What is up? Yo, happy Sunday. Another Sunday with your favorite hostess with the mostest.
My dad, I'm doing a record, but I looked at him, I said, hey, what part of Brooklyn you in?
We're not in Brooklyn, sir. We're in upstate New York in Dutchess County. I'm originally from Yonkers. Hung out in the farm.
But wait a minute. I guess you guys don't know each other that well.
Yo, what is up? What is up? Happy Sunday, fun day. You are back with your favorite podcast on the internet, Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. We are here, myself, the big dog, the vanilla gorilla, and it is Sunday fun day. We are back. Make sure you check us out on all streaming networks. Everywhere you go, you can find us. We are going to check out Rumble and this other thing called Blue Sky. We're going to check them out.
I know what Blue Sky is.
We're going to have to check them out. Rumble, we're going to get on. We got to get on Rumble. So, I don't know what we're talking about today because I don't know if my son watched wrestling.
I did. You might want to close that door just a little bit. Damn, trying to freeze me out. There you go. I appreciate that.
Damn, I didn't realize I opened that much.
Yeah, you did when you went outside earlier.
No, I shut it. It's been shut. So I got a heater. Don't worry about it. We good.
Yeah, we went. Yeah, you
when I was under the weather.
Can freeze me out over here. Jesus Christ.
When I was under the weather, because I was under the weather this last whole week. I haven't been feeling well. I went out Friday, came back, and went right back into bed. So whatever that shit was, it's kicking my ass. And I don't ever stay down. I'm always burning candles at both ends. Maybe that's what it is. So talk about some wrestling.
There was Saturday night's main event was last night. I watched that. That was very good. I watched the whole show. That was a really good show.
I see the titles are up for grabs.
Well, that's at the Rumble. That's next week.
Yeah, it's going to be.
It's the
Kevin Owens.
Well, it's not the titles are up for grabs. It's one title.
Right.
Kevin refused to give that title back.
So it's Kevin Owens versus
Cody Rhodes.
And the belt's going to be hanging up above the ring.
Yeah, in a ladder match.
Yes.
Shawn Michaels did the contract signing.
And then got jammed up, and Cody Rhodes saved him.
No, Cody didn't save him.
Yeah, Cody kicked him, and then Shawn Michaels kicked him.
Well, he went after Cody first, but he couldn't get to Cody because Shawn was in the way.
Right.
So then he went after Shawn. Cody shoved him off, and then Shawn Michaels sweet chin music him in the face.
Right.
And then you had Jacob Fatu and Braun Strowman that ended the show. They made Jacob look like a monster.
Well, Braun don't really got to do anything.
They made him look like a monster.
Really?
Yeah, they made Jacob lost by DQ. He might have broke Braun's nose, a couple of ribs.
Okay.
But they had him. I think he did 3 or 4 moonsaults.
Okay.
I mean, it was a very interesting way to end the show. That nobody could pull him off. They had to break him up. Actually, nobody could break him up. I'm sorry. Nobody could break them up.
And one show I want to talk about that I did watch.
He had to leave. He left under his own thing.
One event I do want to talk about and I did watch was GCW.
Well, you didn't watch the whole thing.
Well, I watched most of it.
What you watched was only like the first maybe 45 minutes.
Okay.
That was only the first 45 minutes, 5.5 hours. I didn't even watch the whole thing.
Well, let's talk about what we watched together.
I watched almost, I think 3 hours or 4 hours of it myself.
I didn't watch that much. I've been under the weather.
I watched it the night it was on. You had the Bloodsport match with Tom Pestock and Josh Barnett.
Former Baron Corbin.
You had the 6-man tag match, which was the Real Effin' Pros versus the New York OGs. And then after the match, Amazing Red was the first inductee into the Independent Wrestling Hall of Fame 2025 by Homicide, who handed him his plaque. Then you had Matt Tremont, who became the new unified Extreme and Ultraviolent champion. Then after that, you had trying to think of what else there was, because I watched most of it. I missed. You had Matt Cardona versus Tommy Invincible, then versus Microman, and then Jimmy Lloyd turned on Cardona and won because he called out somebody else who was better.
Guys, I'm sorry. I was under the weather this week. I didn't watch any wrestling.
So
I've been sleeping all week. This is my first time actually, and Joey said this is my first time actually not laying down under the blankets, not just sitting in the living room or laying in the bed.
But I mean, it was a good event. I didn't get to watch it all because there was 5.5 hours. I still got quite a bit left to watch. Allie Katch got hurt in the first match. I think she
broke her ankle
in 2 places, if I remember correctly.
She's out for probably about 7 months.
No, I think it was 6 weeks. They said. I think they said 6 weeks. Effie's the new champ.
I like the background.
Effie's the new champion.
I figured that.
Mance lost. Mance is in TNA. That doesn't mean he's done working for GCW, but he's in TNA as of right now, working over there, which is good for him because he had exposure with MLW when they were on TV. He had exposure with MLW when they were on TV.
They're not on TV no more?
No. Well, they are. They're on the BN Sports Network.
Okay.
I think they're on BN Sports. They're on YouTube. All their pay-per-views are on YouTube for free, which is nice. They had their pay-per-view last night too. I watched that. Yeah, there was a lot that went on, I'd say, in the last couple of days.
So how many are we from Facebook again?
20.
So guys, follow us on Facebook at Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. We're 20 away from
just being able to go back live there.
Go live there. And I'm going to tell you, starting next week, I'm going to pick out something. I'm going to pick something out. We're going to give away. All you have to do is like our pages, tag 3 people, and we're going to come on here, and we're going to do the spin of the wheel.
Well, no. You got to. If you're going to do the spin of the wheel, you can't do it with a week's notice.
Okay, so we'll do 2 weeks' notice.
You can't do a spin of the wheel with a week's notice, and because I'm the one that's got to do everything.
So now how about we do 2 weeks? Or 3 weeks? How about we do it at the beginning of March?
I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to sit down in this week and figure it out, and I will line up something to give away.
I have a lot to give away, by the way. And whatever you want, we can autograph it. We got autographed pictures from wrestling. I got some autographed pictures I can give away. So, Battery Joe.
Oh, yeah, I just got to go get the plug.
Get the plug, I'll talk. So we're back, guys.
We were still there. We never left.
So he's got to just go get the battery. So, so today we got my man Lou Cross from Lord Cigars on. We joined another lounge in Newburgh. It's a members only lounge. We're going to start our podcast there, probably starting next week. If you want to join us members only, you got to know somebody, or you got to be a firefighter, EMS worker. Your family's got to be former. Up and I'm back. Yeah, that happens. So yeah, sorry.
No, it happens.
So
it's fun.
We're back.
We never left.
So that's what we're doing. So if you want to join, just send me a DM and I'll tell you how to go about it. You can unplug my phone charger. So yeah, so if you want to join, just send me a DM, and we can go about that.
Ow. Oh man. Yeah, I mean, you got the Rumble coming up next week, which is nice.
Yes, you do.
So, I mean, there's a lot of returns you're going to see coming up. I'm sure some debuts. I think Jordan Grace signed with the company because she was supposed to do an autograph signing today. And she got pulled.
Well, they both got pulled for an autograph signing yesterday.
I don't know if they both did.
Yes, they both got pulled.
I thought it was just her.
No, he posted up. He said they both got pulled. So we know where she's going anyway.
Well,
guys. She's going to WWE.
She's most likely going to WWE because she's already said that's where she wants to go. I don't know what's up with him. He may just not be going.
Should be a big impact there.
Yeah, she'll be big.
You know,
What?
What?
No, that just blacked out. I was making sure nothing was wrong with it. Yeah, I mean, she's gonna make a huge impact there for sure, especially with. She'll make a big impact there, especially, you know, being that she had such a strong showing last year.
Right.
So, and then you have you have the biggest headline of the week, probably. You might have the biggest, if not the biggest one. TNA and NXT or WWE have signed a deal for a multi-year partnership.
Right.
So you'll start seeing more of the NXT talent go to TNA talent come over to NXT. It's going to make for some interesting matchups because guys like Moose have said he wanted to go there. You know, the Hardys are coming back to wrestle for the tag team titles in NXT. You know, they're making their return to WWE, but they're not coming to the main roster yet. That doesn't mean they won't be at some point.
Right.
So I mean, this is a very lucrative. I don't know. Don't kick anything off though, because I don't know what's what.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, I don't know what's what. Just don't kick nothing off.
So guys, we got to take a break. And we'll be back in 5 minutes.
There's a hotel window, many floors above. What's missing down there is love. Thinking through the smoke that fills my mind. Don't worry, it's not my first time. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. Seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. They say it's all inside, heaven and hell. What happened to that angel when he fell? Give it just one try. Tell me you don't like it. Be God for a moment and don't despise it. Adios, amigo. I'm so glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Step outside and breathe. Play a little in the street. Hope it's not me they're sending. Move one from over there. Give the kids a little scare. Oh, these fences, they need mending. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town. Adios, amigo. So glad I seen you. I won't be seeing you around. Adios, amigo. I've been looking for you since I stepped foot in this town.
Yo, what is up? We are back here on Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. You can find us on Amazon TV right now, Roku TV, on the Northeast Streaming Network.
Actually, let me see that.
You can find us on all Spotify, Apple TV, and all that stuff too. So make sure you check us out, Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod on Facebook, Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. Make sure you like and comment on our page. We appreciate it. We're only 20 people away from going live there.
Also, go listen to the Spotify. Leave us reviews, 5-star reviews, anything, comments, whatever. It helps us out.
If there's any wrestlers, any cigar people want to come on, let us know. Send us a DM through the email, turnbucklesandstogies@gmail.com.
Next week, we have my boy Adonis Stone coming on.
The week after, we have Kobe Freeman.
So he'll be on. Any wrestling questions you can ask him. And then you got Kobe coming on the week after, like you said.
And then we don't know from there.
I'm working on it. It's taking some time.
If not, we do what we always do. Nothing.
Well, if not, don't worry. I have shows that you guys haven't seen yet. So you'll still get new content. It just won't be live content.
So on that note, guys, we're going to bring on our special guest, the CEO and founder of Lure Cigars, my man Lou Cross. Lou, what's up, bro? Brother?
Hey guys, how you doing? Happy
doing
Sunday.
Well. How are you, sir? How's it? Happy Sunday, happy fun day.
Yeah, I am doing great. The snow that has plagued us the last week is still on the ground, but it's melting and the sun is out, so I can't complain.
Ours is still here too, but it's melting here.
Where are you located?
I'm in Tallahassee, Florida. You know, believe it or not.
It's been snowed down in Florida in 30 fucking years, bro.
Yep, it's been a long time, and we've never had it like this.
Did you buy a fucking snow blower?
No, but I tell you what, I had to get creative to get the snow off the car. You know, I don't have a scraper or any of that other stuff. You know, and then they shut down the roads because people just don't know how to drive on snow and ice down here. They couldn't figure it out, so everything was kind of shut down this week.
Well, that's because you got the fucking snowbirds living there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Listen, I'm hoping by April 30th I can be retarded too.
Yeah, well, more power to you. I hope it works out for you.
You know, if I could be retarded, then
we've established you already are.
Oh, I'm sorry. I meant retired, same
retired.
Thing. Oh, that's
could be same thing. Right? Same thing.
Once you're retired, you're retarded. Oh no, wait, I've been retarded all my life. Lou, just so you know, it's no holds barred on our podcast.
I hear you. No, all good. It's all good.
That are no holds barred, that you can say what you want to say. to a limit, I guess. Maybe, I don't know.
Let me have that other lighter over there.
So, Lou, let me ask you this question, because I'm a fisherman and everything else. So, how did you come up with, and how did you get into the cigar business and coming up with Lure Cigars?
Well, it's a story just basically of, the history of my life and smoking cigars. I've been smoking cigars. I'm a cigar enthusiast. I enjoyed smoking cigars with my dad going back over 30 years. And he and I had shared a passion for fishing and cigars. And when I was 18, back in the early 90s, I'd gone on a fishing trip and got some cigars with a buddy of mine and came back. And my dad goes, "Hey, what are you doing?" I said, "I'm smoking cigars." He said, "Give me one of those." And so we lived on a little pond where my parents lived, and we would go fishing and go out and enjoy a cigar and cast a line, catch some bass, crappie, bluegill, and things. And fast forward 30 years, um, my dad retired in the early 30s, and I mean in the early 90s rather, and he had 30 years of retirement. So I got to enjoy his company, smoking cigars and fishing rather. And so I guess I can't say last year anymore because it's 2025, but in 2023 he turned 90 years old.
Wow,
So
God
we
bless.
had Yep, he had a wonderful full life. He was very, very fulfilled. He got to do, had no regrets. And when his 90th birthday came along, I had asked a buddy of mine, Nimmer Ahmad, who had Valakari Cigars, who's also located in Tallahassee. I said, "Hey, can you roll a cigar for my dad's 90th birthday?" And he said, "Sure." And so my dad, towards the end of his smoking career, liked a little bit lighter. He was more of a Connecticut kind of lighter bodied smoke. And so Nimmer had rolled these little Perfectos, kind of the short story size for him. And the cigars didn't make it there for the 90th birthday party. We had all the family and friends together, but we did smoke some other things and enjoyed them. Well, they actually showed up a couple weeks later, and my dad's health declined, and he just basically said, "I got to see everybody. I'm really tired. I'm done." And so his health declined very rapidly. He went into the hospital with pneumonia, and he just said, "I'm really tired. I'm done." And he passed away peacefully. And so
My
I
condolences, brother.
yeah, I appreciate that. But it was a celebration of the fact that he had such a full life. He had no, I knew he was in a place where he was very ready and very, very satisfied with where he was. So it was, it wasn't a lot of sorrow in the regard I miss him, but I know that he was at a place where he could move on. So I took those cigars that were rolled, and I took those cigars and I gave them out at the funeral and in the wake, and I said, to the people during the eulogy, I said, if you have a person in your life, if you smoke cigars or somebody else smokes cigars, take a cigar out of the box and go back and enjoy it with someone else and tell stories about my dad and tell stories about your family and just enjoy a cigar and reflect on it. Well, I got so many stories by way of text message and DMs and phone calls and emails and video chats. Over the next month, I had all these people telling me that they had all these connections and telling me stories about how they knew my dad or how they spent time with their kids or their friends. And it just inspired me to say, look, I'm 50 years old this year, and I don't
God
want to
bless
wait
him.
till yeah, I don't want to wait till the end of my life to do something. And being a cigar enthusiast, I said, you know what? Maybe it's time for me to do something and have a tribute cigar to my dad. And I went back to Nimmer and I said, "Hey, you know, what do you think about doing a cigar that would be in honor of my father, and then I could have it as a cigar that I could smoke that I enjoy or whatever?" He said, "Sure." So I didn't have a name for it. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I went back to the warehouse and we were getting samples from the factory and we were trying different things. And I like a Habano. That's kind of where my favorite, kind of, tobacco is. I just like, Nicaraguan tobacco. And so we tried several things and we were trying things back and forth, and it just wasn't landing with the cigar that I wanted to put my name on. And it was kind of a frustrating process. I don't have the resources or the time to go down to Nicaragua and do blends. So we're very reliant on the factory to send up some samples that we validate and say, this is what we want to do, and this is a cigar we like. And it's a slower process, but it's, I trust the palate and I trust the blending of the artists that are there to create the magic in a cigar. And, I like to smoke all kinds of different cigars. So I'm constantly trying new things and constantly going back to old ones to, kind of reference for the palate. Well, we were there on a Saturday and we had smoked a bunch of cigars. And at the end of that session, I said, look, we just aren't getting what we need here. And he said, hold on a second. So Nimmer went back into the warehouse. He brought back a cigar and he handed it to me. And when he handed it to me, he's like, smoke this. And it was this beautiful, dark, reddish brown wrapper. And I smelled it pre-light, was just, oh my gosh, it was just amazing flavor notes, smells, aromas. It was I said, this cigar, I said, I can't wait to light it. I lit it up and I was like, what is this? He said, just smoke it. I started smoking. I was like, holy cow, this cigar is awesome. I started smoking it. I said, what is this? He goes, just smoke it. So I got to the end of it. And I said, yeah, I said, what is this cigar? He says, look, he said, this is a cigar we've been working on for a couple years. It's a cigar that I don't have room in the portfolio right now because he's got 2 other major releases coming out for his brand. He said, do you like this cigar? I said, I don't just like this cigar. I love this cigar. He said, if you like that cigar, I said, can I have this? He says, you can have that blend if it's, for the fact you're in honor of your dad. And I said, absolutely, 100% I'm in. So, like anything else, you don't go to a factory and say, I need 200 cigars or I need 50 cigars. They're going to ask you to buy, several thousand cigars. And that's just how the world works. And I said, what am I going to do with, several thousand cigars? And I said, look, I can smoke cigars and I smoke a lot of cigars, but that's a lot of cigars. He said, well, you ought to go into business. You ought to create something and sell them.
There you go.
So I went back to the drawing board and I said, what am I going to do with this? And so when I was talking with another buddy of mine, James from Simply Stogies, and Tim, I was sitting there, Tim Allen, and we were herfing, and he's like, what brought you into cigars? I said, well, it was fishing and smoking with my dad. And he said, you got to do something fishing themed. So that's how it kind of came full circle to lure cigars. It was the lure of the cigar. It was the lure of the cigar and fishing. So it just seemed like a natural fit. And I can tell you that I felt like my dad's, not to get spiritual, but in terms of, my dad was there with me and it was something that just fit and it was just something that felt right. And I loved the fact that my dad had all this old antique fishing tackle. And I got some of the, of his old lures up here and I used them in some of the marketing and things and whatnot. And so I wanted it to look fun. I wanted it to be something accessible. My dad sold insurance when he was his main career. He worked for over 30 years for Prudential and sold insurance. And he was always looking out for the people that he was taking care of. And he says, if you ever do something, always make sure it's for the common person and make sure that they can, that you're thinking of everybody else. And so my cigars and the fishing is something that fishing is one of those activities that's very accessible to anybody. You can fish with a stick and a hook and a line, or you could go buy $300 rig and fish with that, or you can be in a fish off the shore, fish in a john boat, or you can go out to some, 80-foot Hatteras.
It's funny because I still have a picture and I sent it to my daughter. My daughter had to be about 6, 7 years old. Mm-hmm. She wanted to go fishing. So we have a lake over by us, but we go down by the bleachery, the old bleachery, right?
Yeah.
So she got a hoodie on. My wife is sitting there. I'm smoking a cigar. She throws a line out, right? Now she throws a line out. First time ever fishing.
Why are you yelling?
She throws a line out, and I'm sitting there. I just lit the cigar. All of a sudden, she's like, Papa, and she starts reeling it in. She reeled it. I helped her reel it in, and I still have this picture. She's standing there with it like this, and she's like,
isn't that wonderful?
I sent it to her the other day, and she goes, oh, my God, Papa, you still have that picture? I'm like, that picture will never go nowhere.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. I want to take him on a boat because he's never been fishing on a boat before. Mm-hmm. So I want to take him on the Klondike out of New Rochelle. And, go get some bluefish. I love some bluefish, man.
Oh, yeah. When the blues are running, yep.
And nobody realizes bluefish are the easiest fish to cook. You throw some onions on it. You throw some salt, some pepper. Throw them on the grill in some aluminum foil and let it just grill.
Yep.
Oh boy,
that sounds just like a recipe my dad would throw together. But when the blues were running, you go out there and you can just catch them one after the other and make a couple meals out of it. That's fantastic.
And
so
fishing, the funny thing is, they cut the heads off on the boat, and they go, do you want the heads? I'm like, yeah, I want the heads. So when I walk off the boat, I got a bag full of heads, and somebody's standing there going, how much you want for that? I'm like, $300. They're like, what? I'm like, $300. And they're like, well, I can get it from that guy for $250. See you later. I go to the next guy. He's like, how much? I said, $300. He goes, I'll take them. And they don't realize that the Jamaicans make stew with it.
Oh, yeah.
The Asians make stuff with it.
Sure.
So you can make money. You can make your money back.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Sure.
So,
Yep.
You know, let me ask you about this one that I'm smoking, Lou. We're smoking
the Jolly Walleye, the limited run.
Yep.
Tell me how you got to this.
So the progression, I wanted to do some cigars, you know, as I started out, the Corojo Oscuro, that cigar that came out first was the Big Lou. And Corojo is a leaf that I love. I love Illusion. I love Warp cigars. I love a lot of stuff coming out of Aganorsa. You know, Tatuaje is another brand that I really enjoy smoking, more fuller bodied smokes and everything else. And so the Corojo came out first. We had 3 Vitolas in that. And then we came out with a Habano in February. I finally got a blend that I really liked, and I came out with a couple of Vitolas in that.
Smoked both of those.
Yeah,
the third cigar.
It's really good, by the way.
Oh, good. I'm glad you're enjoying it. I'm smoking the same. So when those 5 cigars came out, when we had those, I wanted to do something special for my dad. He passed away in June, at the end of June, and his birthday was June 1st. And then Father's Day, of course, being June in the month as well. So June has a very significant moment for our brand in terms of being able to enjoy cigars and slow down. So I had come out with a broadleaf cigar called the Last Cast for that. And we can talk more about that. But then going forward, I wanted to have another release for the fall. And so I'm only a year old, basically. January marks a year for the brand. I had an opportunity to try a blend of the Habano, which is this cigar that we're smoking now, that is a Habano 2000 wrapper, Amatepe binder, and then it's got a little bit more jalapa in the filler, so it's got a sweetness to it. There's like a salted caramel note that we've got with this. And that cigar we came out with in November, this past November, and we called it the Jolly Walleye as a limited edition. So, you know, the portfolio has grown because I like variety. I like to smoke a lot of different things. And so what we'll do is we'll do the Last Cast in June every year, and then we'll do the Jolly Walleye in the holiday season to be able to do that. So when I smoked the Jolly Walleye, the one that you're smoking now, I got straight salted caramel notes out of it. There was just this kind of salinity to it that really made my mouth water. It reminded me of you know, treats around the holidays. And it was a cigar that I just couldn't stop smoking.
You know what?
And so I was like,
I was just going to say, I retrohaled I retrohaled it like twice. So yeah, so I got the same thing. I got to get the business. So tell us about your. Are you going to PCA? That's why.
Yep, we'll be at PCA booth 19
this year.
Yep, we'll be at PCA booth 1947. Don't if you're going to be there, anybody's going to be there, please come by and see us at the booth. We're going to have a couple of new exciting things that are going to be at PCA this year. We're going to come back out with. I know you mentioned that you smoked fish sticks. We're going to come out with a fish sticks box press. They'll be back out this year. And then we've got a couple other things that are going to be a surprise at the show for PCA attendees.
All right.
Sorry, guys.
Mm-hmm.
There we go.
So we're gonna hopefully be at PCA.
We definitely have to come by and see you
with
because
BAMF Cigars. If you don't know,
I got to try the new those new fish sticks that you said you're putting out.
If you don't know Ish from BAMF Cigars, he's a good friend of ours.
Ish.
He was the first Ish. And here's the thing that I think, and he says no, but I think put us on the map.
No, I told you what put us on. I told you what put us on the network.
What?
It was our Christmas and holiday episode.
Okay.
It wasn't that episode specifically.
Right, but I say Ish helped us.
Sure.
But anyway, Ish is a friend of ours, and he was the first one to come on and roll cigars on our live. And also, we were at my buddy's shop, and I had my drink that morning, and he comes in, he goes, "Where's my coffee?" I said, "I don't know who you're talking to. I don't drink coffee this early in the morning." And he goes, "Well, what do you got in the cup?" And I said, "This." He goes, "Pour me some." And so I poured him some, and then somebody said to Ish, he goes, "What are you drinking?" And Ish went like this and poured it on the floor. And I'm like, "Seriously?" And my buddy's like, "Don't worry, the cleaner will get it." you know. But so you're in Florida. So do you know Ish is opening a lounge on the 22nd?
I saw that. I saw that just the other day. I was noticing on the socials. I've been watching kind of the evolution he's posted on social media. It looks like a beautiful space in a polo club.
Yes.
And
So
what a great space.
Here's the thing. If you want to get in the lounge, you have to join
his TPA.
That's the only way you're getting in.
That's what he's putting. That's all the cigars he's putting in his lounge. Which
it's not expensive.
It's smart though.
Yeah.
It's smart because it keeps it to the.
He wants all boutique. He's not putting no.
It keeps
no
it to the
names.
boutique industry.
So if you want to join, just hit him up. Tell him me and Joey sent you, and
I'll reach out. He was on the podcast that got a call last week when I was on for the Cigar Dude / the Black Girl.
I'm trying to get him on now, but he's busy right now because I hit him up. He said, "Dave, I'm super busy." I said, "Listen, that's understandable." But so he's also one of our sponsors.
This is good.
He only does, like I said, he's only doing boutique cigars, but you got to be part of the TPA.
Sure.
And then you get in the lounge and listen, you get in there, bro. That's Polo Grounds is the fucking way to go.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I'll have to reach out to Ish.
So, guys, we have to take a break because we missed a break 5 minutes ago. So we'll be right back with my man Lou Cross from Lure Cigars.
Let's play something else.
Play something we haven't heard.
Thought we were through with this. Then I watched the evening news. There were folks that still wouldn't stand for the old red, white, and blue. At first it made me fight and mad how they think that that's okay. Then I thought they just don't understand, and given a chance I'd say, have you ever been there when taps was played or for a 21 gun salute? Had to hear the words you never want to hear. Have you ever had to face that truth? When a son or daughter didn't come back home to a family so devoted, then you might not disrespect our flag. If you'd ever been handed one folded, have you seen a heartbroken mother or a father fall to his knees? Been there when a family got the news that your freedom wasn't free? Have you seen a flag draped coffin? If you did, how'd it make you feel to know a soldier died to give you the right to stand or kneel? Most of us are immigrants, proud to call America home. And I'll stand for the red, white, and blue, even if I gotta stand alone. 'Cause I've been there when taps was played for a 21 gun salute. I had to hear the words I didn't want to hear. Yeah, I had to face that truth. When a son and daughter didn't come back home to a family so devoted, you never disrespect our flag. If you'd ever been handed one folded, you never disrespect our flag. If you'd ever been handed one folded, one folded.
And we're back, yo. This is Big Dog, the Vanilla Gorilla. You're on Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. Check us out on the Northeast Streaming Network, Amazon, Roku, Spotify, every streaming network you can find. And we are live here with the CEO and founder of Lure Cigars, my man Lou Cross. Lou, talk to us, baby. Tell us anything you want to tell us.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on and having this beautiful day sitting there smoking cigars. We can talk about my cigars, but I'm very curious. I got the invitation to come out with you guys, and I know you guys are wrestling enthusiasts. And I'll be honest with you, wrestling is one of those things that has not been part of my life. But when I was back in the '80s, I had my knowledge of wrestling kind of ends with Hulk Hogan, Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, Mankind. I mean, it goes up to, in terms of the names that I recognize. And when you were doing the intro, I didn't even recognize a lot of these new names or whatever else. And there's so much, it's grown so much from where it was WWF back in the day that it's completely different. So what's your backstory on wrestling and cigars and stuff? Give me a little bit of story there.
So I don't know. I started wrestling back in 1994, 92. In between 92 and 94.
No, right there.
Oh, 92.
There you go.
So I started wrestling. I was trained by the Wild Samoans. I was trained by the late, great Pete McKay, Johnny Rods. I've been all over. New England Pro Wrestling, NWA, Jersey All Pro Wrestling. I actually trained a few kids that made it big, like Homicide, Low Key. I'm good friends with the Samoans. So that's my background. I mean, I've held titles.
Yeah.
I'll put that out there. I've held titles. I've held title for the NAWA, which is out of Westchester. He's now fully retired. I haven't heard from him in 20 years. So that's my background. Me and my son just made, I used to be part of a tag team called the Untouchables that I created. My partner died in Dominican Republic.
Oh, goodness.
Me and my son took over. We did an appearance out in North Carolina.
You had a second before me. It was Justin.
Right, I had my partner's son, who's my nephew, and he retired, and then my son took over. We did a show down in North Carolina, and
no, you forget. We actually wrestled in Jersey first.
Right, house wrestling.
That was my debut and kind of my, first kind of step into that role in the ring. I've done backstage stuff. I've done commentary. I've done, everything from tickets to breaking down and putting up the ring. I've kind of done, just about everything that people have asked me to do.
I don't know if you can see the picture behind me right here.
And then
there's a picture behind me. Joey, just turn that up a little bit.
Yeah, you can see it. It's there. And then
that's me. I weighed 450 pounds. I had long hair.
Holy moly!
Now I weigh 272. I'm a good sexy 270.
I'd say you're about 3.
No, I'm a good sexy 270.
It was kind of something I've always wanted to do as a kid growing up. And going to all the shows with him and meeting everybody I've met. We got the phone call 3 years ago at this point
from my buddy Magic,
from one of his friends that he wrestled with for 30 years.
Still friends with to this day.
He called and was like, listen, I want to book you and your son.
Well, hold on.
He said, okay, what do you want to do? He said, I want to book you two to wrestle. So I was at work. He called me, he asked me, I said, well, what are you still doing on the phone with me? I said, you shouldn't have even called me. You should have just said yes.
But hold on, Lou. So here's what the phone call consists of. Calls me up. I get the call. He goes, yo, what's up, brother? I said, nothing much. I said, what are you doing? He goes, I'm calling you. I said, I know, but what do you need? He goes, I called to see how you doing, see whatever, and I'm like, cool. He goes, by the way, I'm booking you and Joey for a match. I said, bro, do you realize I'm retired? He said, yeah, so you booked for this date. And I'm like, bro, I'm retired. He goes, all right, so put this date on your calendar and I'll see you then. I said, Magic, I'm retired. He goes, all right, so I'll just call Joey and I'll see you guys on this date. I'm like, bro, I'm retired. I said, hold on, let me call Joey. So I called Joey, and that's where all of that happened.
I was sitting at work, and he's like, you sitting down? I'm like, okay. What do you want? He's like, so he wants to book us. I said, okay, so why'd you even call me? I'm like, what did you call me for? He's like, I wanted to see if you wanted to do it before. I said yes. I'm like, why are you still on the phone?
Lou, and the best thing was,
I'm like, you should have just said yes, and then when I came home, said, hey, by the way, I wanted to wait till you were home. I got to tell you, you know, we're booked for this day. And okay.
And the best thing was when we got there, we're taping up and everything. And, you know,
which I've learned to buy more than one roll of tape.
And then the thing is, I haven't wrestled in Jersey in 25 years, right? So our music hits. Now we don't come out yet. All of a sudden our music hits, and Alan from Family by Loyalty was in Long Island.
He was actually, was it Long Island or was it Queens?
No, he was in Long Island. So he said to me, I'm coming to the show. So I text him, I'm like, yo, bro, we getting ready to go out. He goes, I'll be there before your match is over. So
he was like, I think he was 20 minutes away, and he made it there just as the bell rang. I seen him walking in the door.
So now
everybody had kind of come out. We'd kind of done all the shenanigans before the match.
Let me finish.
No, I'm saying we did all the shenanigans, and as I look out through the lights, and all I see him paying for his ticket at the door.
So all of a sudden, our music hits. Now I haven't.
That was kind of fun.
Jersey.
That was pretty fun.
Years.
I won't lie.
All of a sudden, my music hits, and we come out, and all you hear is boo, boo, boo. Now we don't know anybody. We never wrestled for this federation.
I'm brand new. I mean, nobody knows who I am.
Out, now, me being a guy I am, I come out and I look and I go, I'm in dirty Jersey. I said, this place is a cesspool of garbage.
Don't forget, we wrestled Disco Inferno, Run DMC, whatever
guy
he is.
that looked like Disco Inferno, Run DMC
he
combined together.
He dressed like 70s disco with a singlet and flare pants and then the big
gold chain,
Run DMC rope chain. And I'm like,
so I turned around. I said,
what are you doing?
I turned around. I said, yo, who is this guy? I said, this guy, I don't know if he wants to be Disco Inferno or Run DMC. We're going to have a concert here or what? So now we're wrestling, right? So then this other group goes by, Cream something.
Oh, please, we're not even going to get into that because that was just.
So now Alan's standing there.
God.
So I finally turned around to Alan. I said, it's about time your fucking ass showed up. He just looked and said something. I said, go fuck yourself. Meanwhile, we're wrestling. Now we're wrestling two other dudes that we know.
But by the way, bro, this is fantastic, bro. I'm really enjoying this.
I'm fucking enjoying
this. This is delicious.
So we're wrestling. So now we're outside the ring.
In our defense, we didn't know these guys from a hole in the wall. Any of them?
Rock.
No, we didn't know Rock.
Oh no, we didn't know.
We met Rock that night.
Right. So now we're wrestling. So now I crawl back to the locker room. I get thrown out. I crawl back to the locker room. All of a sudden, they take Joey, and they're going down the hallway.
Yeah, but they tried to take me down the hallway, and I was actually taking them 2-on-1.
I get in the back, and the guy goes, yo, Joey's in the hallway. So now I come running back out. We go down the hallway. We're fighting down the hallway. All of a sudden, the guy goes to hit me in the head, and my head has baby oil, and he hits the electric box.
He slips, puts his hand through the wall, and where it broke, they didn't break anything, but where it broke was a junction box. So now there's a hole in the wall. There's the junction box exposed. We've pretty much not ruined, but
so needless to say,
we've heard our chances of ever coming back there as talent.
To say, after that, Alan came out, and we were smoking cigars with him.
No, that's after we almost knocked out the promoter.
We almost knocked out the promoter. I'm signing autographs to all the kids, and everybody came out. So all of a sudden, the promoter comes out, him and the son, he goes, you guys gotta da-da-da-da. I said, bro, just give me you're not getting paid. I said, bro, is that your trailer over there? He goes, yeah. I said, then you ain't leaving the shop. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you're going to have flat tires from your front truck to the back of your truck.
Meanwhile, he wasn't even the one that booked us that tried to that tried to say we weren't getting paid, and his son. I'm like, dude, you're barking up the wrong tree. I said,
So
because
then the guy that booked us,
I don't care.
Over, him and his promoter.
Well, she grabbed you.
She came over. She goes, Dave, do me a favor, get in your car.
Actually, she told you to take a walk.
She goes, go back to your hotel. She goes, we're gonna come and pay you. I said, nah, fuck that, man. This mother. Alan goes, yo, get in your car and just leave.
Well, that's after we walked to the car. We talked with Alan. He handed us a few cigars to smoke, and then they said that Bayville Police Department was on the way. And I looked at him. I said, fuck it. I was like, I'm grabbing my shit. I'm out. I'm like, I ain't waiting around. I'm not getting locked up. I'm not getting locked up in the Jersey Shore. I'm like, I'm good. I'm going home.
This happens on Independence.
Fuck that. I'm like, I'm going back to the hotel to smoke cigars.
Lou, you have promoters that think they're like these big time promoters, and they're really not. And me coming from 25 years experience, I went to Chincoteague, Virginia, and I made $100.
Now I will say,
you understand? So, to me, bro, I don't need to wrestle for your federation. Your federation wrestles once a month, once every 2 months, every 4 months, every 5 months.
Yeah, I will say.
And you don't bring in no big names. You use all these fucking has-beens or wannabes that think they're fucking Roddy Piper, Ric Flair, and Hulk Hogan. If you want to be a Hulk Hogan, cool. You can be a Hulk Hogan. You're getting barred from WWE, so go fuck yourself.
You know what, though? I will say North Carolina was pretty fun. The show we did in North Carolina over the spring of last year, we did it in May. We drove down. We were right outside the military base out there in Cherry Hill.
Cherry Hill,
we were like
Point, North Carolina.
We were like 10, 15 minutes from there.
Nigel, what's up, brother?
Morning, Jason. Morning, Nigel.
Nigel, what's up, my man? Nigel, we got to hook up, Nigel.
So, we did the show down there.
Ooh, Nigel said, what's up?
And, that was the first match I did. I didn't really say too much. I didn't really kind of do too much. And then I had people watch it and I took pointers from them. And the next show, I kind of stepped into my own and took the spotlight. Like I stepped into the role that I should have had, the first show. But again, I didn't know too much.
Nigel, I got to get on your.
I was still trying to figure it out. So after talking to people and watching, go ahead.
I'm going to say that the thing is that what's amazing to me is you guys have got something that you get to share time with your dad, and you get to celebrate that. Now, cigars are a way to celebrate before and after, or whatever it is. I mean, have you ever used cigars in a prop in terms of what you've done in terms of wrestling or walking out smoking a cigar or
I did. I used that North Carolina.
He used it in North Carolina. I didn't.
Here's the thing. So
I didn't want to damage my good cigars.
So when he turned 18, Lou, we used to go to a cigar lounge right down the hill. So when he turned 18, he says to me, Dad, I want to go smoke with you. I said, my man, you better go ask the boss. And they go, what do you mean? And I said, you better go ask the boss. You better go ask your mother. So
hold on.
He went and asked.
We got a question from Nigel. He said, Lou, what's your go-to lure and what's most popular?
So right now, my go-to cigar is the Jolly Walleye, just because it's a blend that, the evolution from the line. You're smoking, I'm smoking it now. It's a cigar that is just, I can smoke it anytime during the day. I love the Big Lou. That's a cigar that I can always smoke, and it kind of takes me back to the beginning. But so right now, say that.
Can we get that on your website?
So I don't sell cigars direct to consumers, but I do have a list of retailers. If you go to lurecigars.com, you can see a list of retailers that have them. There's a number of people out there online. From the beginning, Oxford Cigar Company has been a great supporter of the brand. Luxury Cigar Club. We've also got the Oakdale Vault. So the Cigar Vault Oakdale, they've got some online presence. But there's a whole list of other retailers that are there. So don't miss. We love to have our partnership with mom and pop and smaller retailers that focus on boutiques. We've got Smoldering Cigar in Iowa. Okay. They've got, a great lounge there that it's a destination lounge. Redcoat
So Lou, before we sign
tobacco
off,
merchant. Yeah.
before we sign off,
Yeah.
when we cut to our end at 12:30, don't go nowhere. We'll put you in a group room, but we're gonna talk. We'll talk about that later. But
yeah, really good.
So yeah, so you know, it's just funny. Like, you know, I've been all over the world. I've been all over the country, and I went to a WrestleMania 20 in the Garden.
Wow.
So I went to WrestleMania 20 in the Garden, right? So you see how big he is, right?
Oh yeah.
Remember, I was a kid.
But he was a kid. Undertaker was his favorite guy, right?
I was afraid of him.
So I said to him,
I was afraid.
I said,
no. He wasn't my favorite. I liked him, but I was afraid of him.
So I know Mark, and I meant to tell you this when you asked how else I got trained from WCCW in Dallas, Texas, at the old Sportatorium.
Oh yeah,
Adams, and I met Mark Callis there. So
that's when was that Mean Mark Callis, or was that
no, he was under the mask.
Texas Red. That
was Texas Red. So I met him there. So what happened was my brother, who moved to Kentucky now, we used to go to the Sportatorium, and they had a battle royal. Whoever can survive gets a free training.
Oh wow.
Oh yes. Go ahead, Lou. Finish the question for Nigel, please.
Oh no. So I was just going to say that you know, you go on our website, you can see that's there. Sir Louis Cigars, Hunter and Matt that are there. They also have them online. But you know, if you don't carry Lure Cigars and you want to carry Lure Cigars, we invite you to reach out to us. But follow us on Instagram at Lure Cigars. We have a great loyal following of Lure fans that are out there to smoke cigars. And if you smoke our stuff and you post it, please collaborate with us and tag us at Lure Cigars. We would love to be able to, you know, build a network of people that are out there enjoying cigars. Our slogan is smoke great cigars and tell tall tales. You know, get together, smoke good cigars, and tell fish stories, tell stories about your life. Just like you're telling stories about wrestling and all the history, and you see the evolution from the different. Yep, there you go. Smoke cigars and tell tall tales. We would love to have you, you know, try our cigars. We've got Corojo, we've got Habano, we've got Broadleaf, and we've got some other stuff that's coming out in small release that you have. So the catch and release options that are out there right now, they're shorter run cigars that come in 5-packs. That cigar that just dropped this past fall, there's still a few of them out there. That is the Brownie Trout, which is a San Andreas Maduro box press. That cigar is straight fudge brownie. That cigar, if you smoke that, yep, that's the one there.
The one we had. Nigel, my apologies, Nigel. I'm sorry, Nigel. My apologies.
No, it's all good. Nigel's been a great advocate. Nigel, Steve, and Amy, they are my friends that we herf on a regular basis.
No, I love Nigel. I love going on his herfs. I love going on Nigel's herfs. I love Nigel. Nigel's one of the coolest cats in the world.
They've been great advocates for the brand, and they're their official Lure ambassadors. They're out there smoking the new stuff and spreading the word. I have to say that a lot of my success as a brand and exposure has been by way of hanging out on the Discord herfs. Join us, you know, on Luxury, on DAC, on Deadleaf. I'll try to make the rounds in the different Discord groups, and Nigel Syndicate as well. We try to get together and smoke all kinds of different stuff. And if you've got a cigar you love, I love to hear about the new stuff as well. So
Nigel, let me ask you this, Nigel. Been at you in the comments. Nigel, how does one get onto your herfs? Because I haven't seen them and I haven't been posted. If you're still here, Nigel.
Man, this is really good. Like, I have to say, everything I've smoked, I smoked the Habano one, which was the yellow outlined one.
Tally Alley.
Yeah, I smoked the Tally Alley, the fish sticks, and now this one. And I'm very, you know, impressed from a brand. And I've heard a whole lot about your cigars from a lot of people. I've heard a lot about your cigars, and I've heard great things.
Well, I can tell you just another plug. So the Jolly Walleye, they come in 10-packs. We put them in packs of 10 to make them more affordable. They're sealed in wax paper, and then they have a Boveda pack in there. So the cigars sell in 10 packs. This is the Jolly Walleye. All the Habano line comes out in green paper. So if you see them out there, this is the green paper one. This is the small Holy Coly, which is the little 5x50.
Okay.
And then the Corojo line comes in red paper that we have. So in terms of making it to where you could see it. But so the cigars, we build custom tackle box trays for the cigars to be able to be in our retail partners that we have.
That's cool.
For the loose ones that we have, and then we use the antique fishing lures that we have that my dad had. So like I use those as part of the decor that they have on there as well. You know, the reward is basically watching people enjoy the cigars. I mean, sure, it's a business and everything else, and I appreciate that, but it's been so great to have people smoke the cigars and just, you know, the feedback and the positive feedback. We've been very blessed, and it's humbling to be a cigar enthusiast and to see that evolution to where now I have a cigar line that's out there,
Right.
and people enjoy it. So it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun, and we want, you know, all of our kind of our marketing and our logos and things and everything else are all designed around having fun and smoking cigars.
We're all smoking the Jolly Walleye.
Yes. So Nigel, I just sent you a message on Instagram.
And Nigel said, no longer on Zoom, working on another avenue.
I just sent you an instant message on Instagram under the syndicate. So now I'll finish telling you. I went to WrestleMania 20, and
oh, it's delicious. It's so good.
It's fucking great. So I went to WrestleMania 20. He couldn't go, so I took my nephew.
No, it's not that I couldn't go. I didn't want to go.
He was scared because the Undertaker made his return.
Yes.
Now,
Absolutely. I will admit that.
Give me 1 second, Burly Bear. So, mind you, we're at WrestleMania 20. We're standing outside the garden by the employees' entrance. And now I'm a nobody. I'm just a fucking guy that paid for a ticket, you know, went whatever. So I'm standing outside, me, my cousin, my nephew, and my other nephew. So all of a sudden, Shane McMahon walks by.
Oh.
And he looks, he goes, yo, big dog. I said, what's up, Shane? He keeps going. All of a sudden, this guy yells out, he goes, I know that guy. And I said, yeah, that was Shane McMahon. He goes, you. He said, you wrestled for NWA New England. I said, yes, I did. He goes, you were part of the Brotherhood. I said, yes, I did. I said, if you know my name, I'll give you a free T-shirt. He goes, you're big dog. I said to my nephew, go to the car and get a T-shirt for him. Went to the car, got a T-shirt. All of a sudden, here comes Hillbilly Jim.
Which he is somewhere in another universe still giving his Hall of Fame speech.
Yeah, he's still giving his Hall of Fame speech. So Hillbilly Jim comes by. He goes, yo, big dog, what's up, man? I said, Jim, what's going on? He goes, you waiting to get in? I said, well, I bought my ticket. He goes, so why aren't you in this door? I said, because they won't let me in the door. He goes, come with me. Now, mind you, now listen to what I'm about to tell you. Shane McMahon is married to the Heinz Ketchup wife, right?
Heinz Ketchup heiress.
So, mind you, they're arguing with Shane because he doesn't have credentials to get in. He goes, I own the WWE. And they go, well, you don't have credentials. So now Hillbilly Jim is standing there laughing. I'm like, Jimmy, you're going to see? He goes, no, I like watching this. All of a sudden, here comes Linda.
Some people like to have fun when they're fucking bored.
Here comes Linda with Brock Lesnar. She goes, why is my son still standing there?
That's the next big
and
thing.
He goes, because he doesn't have credentials. He goes, do you know this is my son? And we run this place right now. And the guy goes, well, you know, and Shane goes, no problem. He goes, I'll just buy the building right now. And I said, what? And Hillbilly goes, watch. He goes, he calls up Dolan. He goes, Dolan, how much you want for this building right now? Dolan threw him a number. He goes, consider it sold. And the guy looked at him. He goes, and you're fired. Dude, I shit you not. I stood there. I was like,
that's some shit.
Wow.
Just because you wanted to be a dick.
I said, this is fucking tremendous. So now we get in. You know, the guy goes, you guys don't have credentials. He goes, yeah, this is my brother. This is my family. They're coming in with me. He goes, unless you want another episode like this. He goes, no, sir, please. By all means, you're free. So we get in, and now I'm standing with my nephew and them, and I see Mark Callis go into the trainer's office. So Jim goes, what are you going to do? I said, Jim, I'm just going to fuck around, talk to whoever I know. He goes, all right. So I see Mark go in. I said, let's wait about 15 minutes. He goes, what do you mean? So wait about 15 minutes and just watch. So Mark comes out. He gets all taped up. I bump into him. I go, oh, I'm sorry, sir. I really didn't mean to bump into you. I said, but being that you're here, can I get a picture with my kids and my brother? He goes, these are your kids? I said, yeah, these are my kids right here. Meanwhile, they're like fucking 20, 22 years old. So mind you, he goes, sure, no problem. And I looked at him, I said, Mark, you don't remember me, do you? He goes, no. I said, I was the one that won the Royal Rumble in Dallas Sport. He goes, Dave? Big Dog? I said, yeah. He goes, what the fuck are you doing here? I said, I live here. He goes, but you lived in Texas. I said, no, I moved to Texas for personal reasons, but I'm back. He goes, holy shit. I said, my son was supposed to come, but my son was scared of you. He goes, why is he scared of me? I said, because you're the fucking Undertaker and you roll your eyes in the back of your head. He goes, yeah, that's what I like. He goes, that's what I like. So
but
now,
if I'm afraid of him, that just means he's doing his job correctly.
Now we get on the elevator. On the elevator, it's me,
fuck you for
my
that one.
family, Rey Mysterio, Matt and Jeff Hardy, Linda and Brock Lesnar.
I'll still kick myself in the fucking head for that one, because that was probably all of my favorite wrestlers in one elevator at one time.
So we get on there and we go upstairs. I come out and they go about their business. My family's standing next to me. Triple H comes out. Now, Triple H is not as tall as me. He's a little shorter.
Triple H is like 5'5".
So he comes out and he's looking around like this. And I go, Paul, what are you looking for? And he looks and goes, Big Dog, what's up? Now, I know Paul from New England Wrestling.
Yeah, because he trained under Killer Kowalski.
So he goes, I'm looking for Stephanie. So mind you, Rikishi walks by and he goes, Oos, what's up? I said, Oos, what's going on? He goes, oh, you're hanging out with this guy? I said, nope, I just got off the elevator. He goes, Oos, you good to go wherever you want. So who comes rolling in on a motorcycle? Chuck Zito. And Chuck Zito comes in. Chuck pulls up. He gets off the bike. He looks. He goes, Dave, what's up, man? I said, what's up, Chuck? He goes, what are you doing? I said, same thing you are, fucking watching wrestling. He goes, well, Hogan's borrowing the Undertaker's borrowing my bike.
No, Taker wasn't riding the bike at that point.
I think it was Hogan. Somebody was borrowing his bike or some shit. So we're talking. Next thing I know, they go, you guys got to go to your seats. I said, well, my seats are upstairs. They go, nah, Rikishi just upgraded your seats. I said,
wow.
Cool. So now we're sitting down like in the first 4 rows, and you can see everything. This is when Hogan started that blue mask gimmick.
Oh, Mr. America.
Mr. America. So all of a sudden, I look down, four rows in front of me. This lady standing there with her shirt open like this, and she got Chuck Zito signing her breast. Lou, I'm standing there, and he turns around to me, and I said, seriously? He goes, hey, you want to show me your breast? I'll just take care of him. But, it's fun because...
So now, he did ask this question, so let's go to his question.
What's your favorite cigar?
Favorite cigar all time?
Tough question. You want my favorite cigar?
I think it's for all of us.
It's for all of us.
Okay, well, you guys go, because, I got mine, but...
I'm going to be honest with you. My favorite cigar of all time is the $5 Chuck, the Nika Ristica by Drew Estate. That's my favorite go-to cigar. I will smoke that every day, all day. It's only $5. And like Jonathan Drew said, it's the $5 Chuck.
That's a tough question for me because there's so many that I like. Nigel said the Atabey. Never had that.
Nigel, I never had that. What is it?
It's kind of expensive. It's like 20 to 25 to 35 a stick.
Really?
Yeah.
And in New York, that means it's about $50.
But I'd probably have to say all time, and just because it's probably one of my favorites still to this day that I would go out of my way to buy is any of the Liga Privadas, the 9, the 52.
Oh, I don't have one here. I was going to show them
the H99. Any of those are kind of in my, if I'm looking for something that I want or something, that I would love to have all the time is those Liga Privada cigars.
So let's say besides your cigars,
right,
what is your favorite go to
So
besides Lure cigars?
so besides Lure, my number one. So somebody said, "What's your favorite cigar?" Is the Warped Skyflower. It's a kind of semi-annual release they put out every year or two or
Never had
whatever it
that.
is. I really like that cigar. It's a cigar that when I first smoked it back in 2015, it was a cigar that was just, I said, wow, this is something different. And, at that time, it was a cigar that heralded, this was media tempo tobacco. It was the higher primings of the tobacco plant, and it had a little bit more oomph, and it was just something. And that cigar ages incredibly well. So
You know what?
that's a limited release. But as far as an everyday smoke, if it's a non-lure cigar, I love the J21 from Tatuaje in the Habano. That cigar, the J21, when I see them, they don't come out all that often, but when I see that cigar and I see it at a lounge or I see it, somewhere, I always pick up a few because it's a cigar that is so consistent and it's just one of
Right.
those things that you like. And it's a reasonable cigar, $12, so you
And
can go out there.
Tatuaje is a good brand as well. I mean,
Mhm,
that's a brand that I never dove too much into.
mhm.
Along
So we
with
started hanging out with Mike.
Viaje was
Oh, I
another
love
brand
Viaje.
I never dove too much into, but over
Sure.
the last few years I've kind of went more and more into their lines together, whether it's the limited run for the holidays that Viaje does, or the Cajonus that Tatuaje does,
Yep. Yep.
or the Monster series that they do.
Sure.
It's
Sure. All good smokes.
So Lou, let me ask you this: are you in any shops in New York and New Jersey?
Not in New York or New Jersey yet. I'm in Boston area and in Pittsburgh area. There's several shops that have things.
Well,
Ray's
I ain't going to
Tobacco.
Boston, so forget that. I'm
Yeah.
a Yankee and a Giants fan. Shout out to the Buffalo Bills today. Kick
Yep.
Casey's ass.
Nah, Casey's
Yep.
gonna end up winning that game.
Oh yeah, because they got the ref that calls. Somebody posted up a meme already that they said before the game even started, they got a 15-yard penalty for sacking Mahomes.
Well, I think I'm not. I'm not up. My family loves to watch. My family loves to watch. My daughter's saying goodbye. She's going back to school. So, bye.
Have a
Love
good
you. See you
trip.
later.
Have a good trip.
Yep. She came home for snow days. They closed campus last week. So, but she's on her way back to go to school.
So do you have reps, or do they got to deal with directly like you? And
Well, I actually do have a rep. John Aldi, he's kind of mid-Atlantic in the Carolinas. John Aldi, I don't know if you know John, but John's repping Lure out there and has made some good relationships out there, and John's doing a great job. But most of the time, it's just me, making connections to different shops and lounges that are out there. Again, we're a year old. I'm looking at PCA as an opportunity to really reach out and get the
Absolutely.
brand exposure. We did not go to PCA last year because I was only a couple months old, and so it was a little bit too much in logistics to
Right.
try to get to Vegas. But this is in New Orleans, which I can drive to, and so Nimmer with Valakari and Lure are going to be able to be in a booth that we've got set up. So we're working on that, and hopefully we can pick up a few more accounts. But if you know anybody that likes fishing and likes great cigars, please let me know. Send me a DM, and I'll reach out to them and see if we can't get them.
So give us 5 minutes, guys. We got to take a break.
We're already at. I only got like 15 minutes left. Don't even worry about it.
So he's the boss. I'm
Don't
just the owner.
even worry about it.
So let me ask you this. So what can people expect from like your shelf when you sell them boxes?
Yep.
Is it like something that'll catch somebody's eye?
You
like
said
me?
it's an old antique fishing
Right.
box.
Because
Yeah.
we have a guy that we deal with that we're just a broker for.
Yeah.
And his boxes catches everybody's eye.
Sure.
So that's what I'm saying. Like,
So
it's
we do
catch
trays.
their
We
eye
do
when they
trays.
put it on a shelf.
We do trays at different sizes depending on what they bring in for the core line. If they bring in core line, we'll make them a custom box, and we paint it up to look like an old fishing tackle box that would have been something in a bait shop, that we have. And then we put our stickers and decals. You've seen some of our stickers I sent you as with the
We have them
samples.
shown.
And we put those out, and then we put the antique lures attached to the box. Sometimes we do it depending on what they want. If they do a tabletop display, yeah. If we do a tabletop display, we'll put the lures on the back, on like a backstop that we hang them off of. If they do a shelf display, we put them on the front of the box. And I think that it's one of the things, the feedback we've gotten from the retailers that have brought the lure in, they are some of the cigars that people actually stop and they pause and they say, "Wow, this is something different. This is
Right.
something where it catches your attention." So that's what we're working towards, is to catch people's eye and kind of lure them in and hook them into trying the cigar.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Right.
And so it's the cigar branding is great and the story is great, and you can hear that, you can go on our website and get the full story and the backstory of things. But and opportunities to sit here and talk on podcasts is also a great way to kind of spread the word. But at the end of the day, the cigars have got to be worthy of smoking, and you've got to have a
Absolutely.
cigar that you pick up and that what people will come back to.
So
It's the return to the brand that makes it to where people want to smoke it again.
here's what I want to find out, because I'm looking at the cheat sheet that you sent us.
Mm-hmm.
So the Tally Alley.
Yep.
How did you come up with that name?
All right. So lures from the antique lures, in terms of Hedden and the other bombers and the other ones that are out there, they had these names that were very alliterative. They had, the super duper or the wiggly swiggly or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And so there's names that they have, these names that are go associated with lures. So I wanted to kind of mimic that in terms of the naming. But when I first came out, so the first cigar was the Big Lou, named after me and my dad, because we both share the name, and his dad I'm the third, so his dad was Lou. We had the BLT, which was a torpedo, so it was the Big Lou torpedo, but my dad loved a BLT sandwich, so that worked.
Right.
And then I had and so I had the third cigar that came out in the fall of 23 was the Little Tony. And my son's name is Anthony, but when he was little, we called him Little Tony. So hey, where's Little
We call
Tony?
him
Where's
Little
Tony?
Joe.
Yeah, same thing. And then of course Tony's 6'5" now, and so he's not little anymore. So it's kind of a joke. 5x50 Little Tony. Then so I have two daughters, and my daughters were like, "Well, when are you going to name a cigar after us?" And I said, "Well, hey." I said, I didn't even know you were interested, didn't even know you were paying attention. So when the Habano came out, my daughter Nicole, her nickname is Coley. So I called that the Holy Coley. That's a 5x50 Robusto. And then my daughter Allison, she's 6'3". And so I named the Toro in that size the Tally Alley, because Allison, her nickname is Allie. Right. And we're from Tallahassee, and the nickname for Tallahassee is Tally. So Tally Alley. Well, the other cigar, I don't know if I sent it to you or not, was a box press Habano. We were sitting here on the porch, and everybody was asking me for a stronger cigar, because they know me personally, I like a really strong smoke. Okay, well, we can make that happen. So I like a strong cigar. I like a strong Habano. So we went back to the factory. I said, "What else can you do?" They came back. I said, "Can you add a little more Haro? Can you amp it up a little bit?" And they said, No, that's not what you want to do. They sent a box press where they pulled out some of the filler tobacco and they left all of the Amatepe Ligero. They wrapped it with an Amatepe binder, and they box pressed it so that there was less tobacco, but it was pressed so that you had good airflow for all that Ligero to not smolder, but it would burn.
Right.
So I'm smoking that cigar, and I'm sitting on the porch, and I'm giving feedback to Nimmer, and I said, "Look, man, this cigar is awesome." Well, my wife happened to be out here on the porch, and she was sitting over here reading a book or something, and she said, "Well, if it's awesome, I want that one named after me." And I said, "Really?" I said, "Well, this thing is pretty strong." I said, "I'm going to call this the Mean Gene." So the Mean Gene was what we called that one. So, and it's not Gene like the wrestling Gene, Gene, but it's the Mean Gene, so it's Jean. So the Mean Gene came out. Right. So I've got those three. We ended up, we wanted a 6x60. There was these people that really wanted to have that cigar in a larger format, because there's guys out there that love big cigars. I'm not a big Gordo fan, but you know what? We took a Gordo.
I used to be. To be, not so much anymore, but I do every once in a while. I do enjoy a nice, Gordo, whether it's a Maduro, Connecticut, but it's got to be something I've smoked before.
Right. And so people that had smoked the Corojo, we brought that in and we called that the Lunker, which is a nickname for a large fish. So the Lunker is the big 6x60 broom handle that's on that. And the other cigars, they're named after like the catch and release series that we do, which is a limited run when we don't have enough tobacco or we're experimenting. So that catch and release line will come out in, a few thousand cigars at a time. We put those in 5-packs. We make it affordable. Those are only $10 MSRP. And we want people to try them and get feedback to see if it's something we want to bring into the core line or if it's something we want to experiment with. So the first one we did was called the Speckled Perch because it was dark and my dad loved crappie. And so when we would fish for those, and that was something, so we called that the Speckled Perch, and everybody loved that cigar. So that was actually the runner-up blend to the Last Cast. And the Last Cast was the anniversary cigar that will come out again in June. And that cigar is a Connecticut broadleaf, and that cigar is something special. It makes you want to slow down, think about it, smoke it. It's strong, but yet it's full flavored. It's a cigar that's an anniversary cigar that we just love to smoke. And so they sold out immediately. They'll be returning in June.
So
and that's kind of how we got
it. Burley Boy said Last Cast is amazing.
Oh, good. Well, there's a few people that are still out there smoking them. So I if you can find them, I know that there's Smokers Abbey in Memphis. They've got a couple of packs that they're holding back on. So you can reach out to Smokers Abbey and say, hey, want to try the Last Cast.
So now they'll ship too?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect.
So now let me ask you this,
Smokers Abbey in Memphis. I'm gonna have to remember that and write that down.
And you can say thank you. So how about doing something with Bluefish?
So Bluefish is out there on the horizon. We've got another line that's coming out in the end of February. You can mark your calendar. We've got an Oscuro blend, which is a strong, full flavored cigar. It is going to be more signature to what people think is what. And so that Oscuro is Mas Fuerte. It's really got a good oomph to it, but it's a balanced cigar. It's all Nicaraguan Puro, wrapper binder filler, and it's a dark double Maduro cigar that is really, really special. So that'll be out, and that's actually going to be in orange packaging. An orange band. The bands are at the press right now, and we'll be putting them on the cigars.
What size is that going to come in?
So the Oscuro will come in a Toro 6x52 and a 5x52 Robusto. So it'll be a Toro and a Robusto.
And those are going to be in 10 packs, or are those going to be in 5 packs?
10 packs. Those will be in 10 because that's core line. So it'll be the third introduction of a core line that we have.
So just for everybody out there, remember you have to get one of each pack now.
So now, guys, so
Lou, we'd love
tell us about your pricing for the boxes. The 10 packs.
So we don't do boxes. I put the money into the tobacco. Boxes are some of the things in terms. I would love to do a kind of a signature tackle box. But it's one of those things that because I'm just starting out in terms of putting money into the packaging, we do like the paper packaging like I showed you. We keep them in 10 count. And the reason why we keep them in 10 count is because we want to make it affordable. Our pricing runs for our core line from $11 to $13, $14, depending on the size.
It's not bad at all.
That's a good price.
The LEs are about $50. Yeah, the LEs are $15. Steve, the Burley Boar, he's actually tried one of my test blends that we've had out there. We're working on a broadleaf also. By allocation of broadleaf, one of the things that Connecticut broadleaf is a fantastic leaf to work with. I love the flavor of broadleaf, and it's been very successful for the brand in the previous 2 releases we've had. But I have an allocation, and I only have a limited amount of tobacco I can. Oh, you're nubbing that cigar. There you go. Get it down.
Just so you know, every one of your cigars I've smoked,
he's nubbed them.
I've smoked them down to about that big so far.
That's great.
And I don't normally do that. So that should tell everybody that's watching and everybody that knows me knows I don't
appreciate
do that very often.
Hey, Burley Boar, can you do me a favor? Can you go on Facebook under Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod and just like our page, everybody? Mm-hmm. And don't forget to check us out on Northeast Streaming Network, Amazon.
We're live there right now.
We're live right there now.
A few hundred people watching.
So you can watch us on Amazon, Roku, Spotify. You can hear us. We can do everything. And like I said, Lou, I appreciate you coming on, dog. Joey booked you. Like I said, and I was honest. I said I didn't even know anything about the cigars. Joey said, "Oh, we got Lord Cigars."
I had heard, and like I said,
who is that?
I'd heard a lot. I'd heard a lot about you through other people and through a few people who have interviewed
from
you.
Be Nice. From Bernie. Be Nice with him and Doc.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Bernie, absolutely.
I spoke to him this morning. He's like, yo, Lou's a great dude. I was like, thank you. And, when he tells us somebody's good, I take it because he goes to a shop out there because a lot of people don't have a lot of people in.
Sure.
So when he said that, I was like, cool.
Well, I will say this: it's been word of mouth, and we have a limited amount of places we can advertise in terms of being tobacco. So you can't out there run an ad. You can't go out there. My advertising budget's limited, so I really appreciate you guys and giving me the opportunity to come and talk about my cigars and learn more about what you guys do. I'll go on Facebook and make sure I follow if I haven't already.
Thank you. Thank you.
For sure, and spread the love of the leaf. It's all about that.
And don't forget to buy Turnbuckles and Stogies pod gear.
Yes, and the show links below. If you're on YouTube or Facebook, whatever, in the bio on our Instagram, you click that link, it'll take you to our merch store, which I'm actually going to update now that we have a new logo.
Yes,
that's behind us.
Shout out to MBR Radio.
I have to put the new logo in there because our old logo is there.
So, guys, if you don't know how we got started with our podcast, it was MBR Radio out of Colorado, a veteran-owned station. Everything they get is from donations. He's the one that got us started because I'm a former firefighter, and we've been with him for 2 years now. So, guys, make sure you follow MBR Radio. They have a lot of podcasts. They go live every day. Northeast Streaming Network, Mac Attack, follow them. And make sure you order for my man Lou from Lure Cigars.
Go on his website and find out who's got them.
Go on his website and see who's got them. Because I'm going to call Lou up, and he's going to direct us to whoever got them, because I'm going to order some more.
I know Sir Louis has the big mouth pass.
Oh, shout out to Sir Louis, who always goes naked.
He's got the big mouth pass.
Hunter's Wild. He's got he may still have a few of the limited editions. We did that cigar for him as a 6x60 Gordo Habano. So it's a Habano. It's a big one. We called it the largemouth Louis, and he still has them in 5-packs out there. So if you get it out there, that's another one of those that we've got. And a shout out to the shop down in Alabama, Bull Weevil Fine Cigars and Humidor Fine Cigars at Dothan. They've got the Evil Weevil. So,
I saw those.
Now, what is the Evil Weevil?
So this is a small Corona. So Steve and Frank that's down there, and Wendy and Jason, they are and Seth over at the Humidor. So they are a shop that has been a great partner of ours, and they asked for a smaller ring gauge Habano because they like Lanceros, they like Coronas, they like petite Coronas and things. So we took the blend of the Mean Gene and we rolled it in a smaller format. And so the reason why we called that the Evil Weevil was because back in the history of the town of Enterprise, they were all cotton farmers, and the cotton farmers, they had a blight of this weevil, the bull weevil, which was a little pest that came and destroyed the cotton crop. And so they lost all their farming down there. And then there were a couple of farmers that were inspired because of that situation that they went and they decided to grow peanuts. And so it turns out that peanuts were a better cash crop and everything else. And so they celebrate the weevil, the bull weevil, because it turned them into a better cash crop. And so that's how the town goes. So we call that the Evil Weevil. It's a signature of that area of the world. So that's another cigar you can call Bull Weevil Fine Cigars, and they will ship you some of those. Those come in little 10-packs as well. They're great for the wintertime. They're great for fishing. If you want a small smoke, you can take between casts. Or if it's too hot outside and you don't want to smoke for an hour and a half, grab an Evil Weevil, and you got a great little smoke.
Now there's so many places now I have to call and buy some cigars now.
So Lou, we want to thank you for coming on. I take my hat off.
Yes, sir.
Almost time for us to close. Do not leave the green room. I need to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
Guys, this has been another episode of Turnbuckles and Stogies Pod. Find us on Roku, Amazon, and all
and don't forget, networks. Go buy your merchandise.
Go buy your merch.
I think it's free shipping right now. If not, I'll go on and see what there is. I might even just run a special. I don't know yet. I haven't figured it out.
He's the boss. I'm just the owner.
Well, thanks again, guys. I really appreciate your time.
Yes, thank you, Lou. All right, guys. We'll catch you next week.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.